Hi, it's Mayor Sendzik, and welcome to our home with Mayor Sendzik. It's great to be back. It's been a while. It's been actually a couple months. And it's been a couple months because of what our community has been going through. And these have been challenging times, but I have to say that our community has really risen to the challenge. You look around our community and you see people helping one another. You see businesses stepping up to be a part of how we are combating COVID-19 in our community. To the healthcare system, the healthcare workers, the PSWs, those working in long-term care, those who are at the end of the grocery line, the grocery stores, the ones who are stocking the shelves, the people who have kept our community going, just an immense amount of gratitude. And while we're not through it yet, I equate it to a long car journey. Some people have referred to it as a marathon, but if you're not a runner, you may not understand how getting to that last piece of the run is sometimes the most exhausting. Not sometimes, all the time it's the most exhausting. But all of us have been in that car ride, that long car ride with mom and dad, and you got your brothers and sisters. It's a 10-hour trip, and it's, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? So think of that long trip, and we're at that last piece of the journey where, yes, we are almost there. And you see it with the vaccinations. The vaccinations are here in our community. They have arrived. Our long-term care homes have been vaccinated. The healthcare workers have been vaccinated. You're starting to see vulnerable people in the community who are more highly exposed to the virus are being vaccinated. And this is creating at least an opportunity for us to better protect the community. And so as the vaccines go up, you'll see the opening of the economy, which means businesses will be able to return to some kind of normal. And I got to say to our business community, thank you for what you've done. So many people who operate businesses, entrepreneurs, they have been closed for either long periods of time or open and close, open and close. And I got to tell you, as a former business person myself, I understand the stresses, the anxieties, the feelings of uncertainty. And so to the business community, thank you for what you've done. And let's continue to support the local businesses in our community as we come out of COVID-19. And we have two guests today that are going to be joining us talking about business. Our guest coming after the break is from Eh José Taqueria. It's a new taqueria downtown St. Catharines. You're going to learn more about it, and it's also a very heartwarming story and a story of opening up during a pandemic. And you're going to hear from Chef José about where it all started, but also how opening up in a pandemic was something that he and his partner had decided to do, and they are going to be a bright spot in our community for a long time. But joining me now is Jessica Potts. Jessica Potts is someone that is very familiar to our business community, an inspirational speaker, an author, a strategist, someone who has built a career on inspiring others to be their best. And Jessica started with Economic Development, Small Business Enterprise Center here at the City of St. Catharines. And she has grown her career into becoming a very influential speaker, not just in our community, but across the country. And she just recently released a book. We're going to be talking about it, Best Day Ever. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Walter.
It is great to have you. It's an honor to have you on here because when I get to see your career and how it's grown over the years, you really see the sense of energy and optimism, this spirit of people can excel and be the best at what they do. And you've done it for so many people. Tell us a bit about how you got in, the focus of your career, where you got to where you are today. Tell us a bit how you did that.
Well, I realized early on through my work facilitating small businesses starting and growing that there was a common thread between everything that I did that amounted to a tagline on my first business card that said, facilitating your awesomeness and inspiring your best day ever. And what's really neat and what's kind of full circle for me today is that you were around in those days when I decided to leave my government job, and you were Chamber Walter back
Yes.
then, and you gave me some great advice. So thank you for that. 8 or 9 years since those days.
It's been a while.
It feels like more like a lifetime ago. But that's really what it comes down to, and that was kind of the seed of Best Day Ever.
And so with your career and what you do in business, and I've been following you on Instagram and on Twitter, and it really is about the awesomeness, about really seizing the opportunity in front of you. And your career is much like an entertainer, and the way I equate it is you have musicians who create something and then they have to go out into the world and take their craft and get people to listen and enjoy their performance. You are very much like a performer where you have an idea, you have ideas that come to you, and then you have to put them into a way that people can understand it. So you were getting prepared and following your career. You were crossing the country, talking to business organizations, and then March 12th hit, 2020. So we talked about business at the top of the program, about the impact. Talk a bit about what it was like to go from there, and then all of a sudden you're about to take off and boom, COVID happens.
Yeah, and it's funny because 2020 was scheduled to be a big year for many people, myself included. It was March 4th, a year ago from the date of this taping, that I was speaking at the City of Hamilton's International Women's Day event. And so that was meant to be kind of the launch of another piece of the strategy. And so, a week later, that plan kind of came to an end. But what was really cool was the birth of the book that came from that, because when I was originally asked to do the keynote, instead of typing it out or writing it out in point form, as we typically would do for that type of presentation, I wrote it out in long form because I knew I was going to turn it into a book. And I knew that the keynote, I turned that many keynotes into the one keynote to rule them all, and wrote out about 8,000 words, which ended up being a third of the book. It's about 25,000 words. And that ended up being sort of what saved me during COVID, because the plan was to be delivering the keynote and the associated programming with it, and then to write the book last year. And on the flip side, I realized there would have been no way that I would have been able to write the book had it not been for that COVID silver lining. So it was always part of the plan, but the realist in me says it probably wouldn't have been able to happen without it.
And that's the interesting part about COVID, is it forced us to slow down. And you've always had this way about presenting, high energy, a lot of spirit, and talking about empowering people to do and be their best. But your life was probably a very chaotic space. And then this book you were able to sit down and really bring together. So in terms of a couple of points in the book, bringing out the best day ever. So take us through a journey of what that would be for an individual diving into the book going, what am I going to come away with?
Yeah, so simply put, the book is, my favorite description so far of the book has been, it was like sitting with an old friend and getting over a glass of wine or cup of coffee and getting the best advice. So that is the highest compliment that I've been paid. It's 10 little chapters with 10 big lessons, and it sort of follows the storyline of my career and my life, from humble beginnings of not even being able to decide what course to take in college. General arts and science is kind of what you take when you have no idea what you want to be when you grow up, but your mom won't let you take a year off. So it started there, and I kind of realized that making decisions is one of the most, at times, crippling things that we can do. Am I doing the right thing, especially when we're talking about our career and our livelihoods? And so I sort of noticed a pattern over time, and these amazingly rich lessons and stories that especially came out while I was teaching at Niagara College when I first started my entrepreneurial journey. And so really the book is designed to be 10 little chapters with 10 big lessons. Each has an exercise at the end that will help solve the problem that was being faced by the author in each chapter. But it's really relatable problems, feeling self-doubt, feeling a lack of self-worth. Even, there's a term I use, like feeling useless. And I think a lot of people really went through that, particularly as we were going through the beginnings of COVID, how am I relevant? How am I useful? How can, now that everything has shifted, how can I be of value and of service to people? And so really the book is about lining up your own personal values with your experiences and your talent, because I believe that everyone has talent. It's already inside of us. So how can we put those all together so that every day we wake up wanting to do the thing that we're going to do?
And so when you put the book together, you very much have been an inspiration to business people, I'll say. So when you look at your background and very business driven, is this a book that transcends that B2B approach, and a person who's may not be on the track of a business entrepreneur, but is in healthcare, is working in education? Explain how this book would be beneficial to anybody who's looking to experience their best day ever.
Well, thank you. I think, the more that it's, I like to say, the more it's out in the wild and you get feedback from people, you realize how truly relevant it can be to people's lives. You kind of write in a bubble within a bubble during this circumstance. And hearing how relatable the stories were to people, and one person, actually a couple people said, I felt like you were writing just to me. So being able to draw on the pain, the human condition and what people are experiencing, and find a lesson that can be useful at many stages. So, some of my original inspiration came from my students, but then, along your path of life, whether you're just starting out, an emerging leader, you're established in your career but looking to maybe make a change, or you're at the top of your game and wanting to stay there, or one of my favorite pieces is for the people that are on their victory lap. And I received some really great feedback from a friend out west who's about 60, and he said, I'm buying this for all my friends. It's not just for the people starting their career. This is great for me as I'm ending my career. So to really stay true to yourself, to learn about who you are, to learn about how you can take that and apply it to your current circumstances, and then to have the courage to take inspired action, to do the things, to say enthusiastic yeses and to say confident nos, so that because I realized somewhere in the last year, I have more goals than I have runway left in life. And so how can I be very enthusiastic about the things that I'm going to do, and be very conscientious and confident about the things I'll say no to as well?
That is amazing advice. 2021. So what is that going to look like? You've got a book, you know how to command a stage, you've got followers. What does 2021 look like now that you've got the book?
Yeah, well, 2021, the book has been a great success. I did a Kickstarter campaign to launch it, and we had 200 copies that were bought, now up over 300. It's now on Amazon, and the biggest thing is that now we're seeing workplaces that are wanting to use the Best Day Ever as part of their wellness initiatives. So I recently had a local organization who I'm embargoed to keep silent because they haven't received their books yet. But a local organization is going to be using this for all of their staff and all of their volunteers as part of their wellness initiative, to make sure that people are aligned with who they are and how they can go about doing things, so that everyone can feel better about getting up and going to work.
That's amazing. And I just want to say, I can't wait to see you back on the stage. I think this is the kind of book that is, again, a catalyst for people to take that journey on what does the best day ever look like individually, but also an opportunity to get people together again in rooms and talk about inspiration, talk about what does a fulfilled life look like, and really the journey that you're going to be taking people on. I can't wait for the day that we can all be back together in big rooms and inspiring each other. And this is the kind of book that will act as a catalyst for that as well. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of our community for everything you've done for this book. And you can get this book. Can they go on a website? Do you have
You can find out about it on bestdayeverbook.com, but it's going to get there faster through Amazon.
Okay.
So amazon.ca is the fastest way to get a copy.
All right, there you go. Best Day Ever. So this is something that you want to dive into, and you will be empowered, you will be inspired, and it's because Jessica Potts has taken all the things that have gotten her to where she is today and inspired people and put it into a book. So thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing your success. And right after the break, we have Chef José coming on from Eh José downtown. You're not going to want to miss it. It's a new taqueria in downtown St. Catharines. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back to Our Home with Mayor Sendzik. Just before the break, we had Jessica Potts talking about best day ever, and from the perspective of business and what it's been like over the last 12 months as we've moved through the pandemic that's been in our community. And now joining me, we have Chef José Granados, and you may be familiar with Chef José if you've gone to the market over the last 10 plus years, where José has been a fixture creating Mexican-inspired, delicious foods for so many people. And in 2020, José and Jesse, his business partner, decided to open up a business in downtown St. Catharines during a pandemic. Wow, and it's called Eh José's Taqueria.
Taqueria, yes.
And first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You have such a large following from the farmers market in downtown St. Catharines.
Yeah.
And you emigrated from Mexico. You've been here for a number of years. You've been tantalizing the taste buds of many, many people. And now you have your own restaurant. How does that feel?
It's exciting. It's I know it's exciting. Exciting to having a location where people they can enjoy in the real Mexican food every day.
Every day.
Well, except Sunday. We are off Sundays.
Sundays are off, and it's on James Street.
James Street, 45 James Street.
For those who have grown up in St. Catharines for a long time, the former Dutlers, it used to be a Dutlers textile storefront, and then it was Stella's for those of a certain vintage who like to go dancing at night. And now it's been converted partially. The part of the building has been converted into a storefront taqueria.
Yes.
You have a roll-up garage door.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
So you can serve right at the counter onto the sidewalk on James Street.
You're right. Yes.
All right. And I will have to say, it's arguably one of the most beautifully designed eateries that we have in downtown St. Catharines. And again, it was opened in 2020.
Yes, it was a little bit. We started 1 year before.
Yeah.
And I remember talking with Jesse, and I remember February, in the end, we signed the lease. March, show COVID.
So just before COVID.
Before COVID, we signed the lease. I said, wow, now what? What's next? I said, well, we have to keep it up. Keep it.
So when you signed the lease, was the building ready to be open, or when you signed the lease, then you were able to go in and start doing the drywall and the...
Yeah, you're right, yeah. So when we signed the lease was for start building.
Yeah.
But at that time, we have quite a few money invest already.
Yeah.
So we couldn't go back. And I think the wasn't easy to go forward. But I said, you know what, let's go do it. Let's go do it. Everything. I think that we have a really unique idea, how taquerias is in Mexico, or what we have in Mexico, and we want to show the people. And I think the idea has been successful so far.
Oh yeah.
And I think we want to keep it like that.
So for the viewers who may not have been downtown in the last 6 months since the taqueria has been open.
Yes.
You'll be familiar where on many days there's a lineup of people waiting to get their orders. That's how popular Eh José Taqueria is downtown St. Catharines. And it's popular because, you touched on it, it's authentic Mexican. Explain, for someone who hasn't been there yet, explain what the culinary experience will be for them.
Every day, the idea is to show the people or give the people the authentic, and the authentic has to be made every day. And one thing is no allow for us. I don't have space for open a can and warm up, so everything has to be made from scratch. Every day we do make salsa pico de gallo, we call it here, guacamole, the most famous guacamole, every day. This is my standards. I follow from maybe 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you've been inspired. Your passion for food is from your abuela,
Abuela, yes.
and
yeah.
that is grandmother in Spanish, Mexican.
Yeah.
And abuela, she inspired, you learned from her.
Yes.
And what foods, tell us a bit about the food experience of learning from your abuela into how it's shown itself in your food. Is it the spice? What is it?
I think it's the I call it marriage the spices. It's not spicy. Spices, what we use, or what I use, and what I saw my abuela, my mom. It's same too. She's part of my culinary experience,
Yeah.
and it has been the marriage, the herbs, the spices, and everything. And what I said again, so for us, bring together and make it every day is make the difference. Make the difference.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
When you look at the culinary scene in St. Catharines, you've been a part of it at the market.
Yes.
Now you're got a bona fide restaurant. Does it inspire you as well when you see how the other restaurants that we have in St. Catharines has really created a culinary destination for? How has that influenced you or inspired you as well?
I think it's, the idea in what we have in downtown St. Catharines is a lot of variety. The different kitchens or different cuisines, and we are a community. Every single owner of the restaurants, we are no in the jealousy or I feel against something. It's a community, and I think everybody we're doing the best for survive and for give the best to the customers.
Well, and that's what I love about when you look at the culinary scene in downtown St. Catharines. Even during COVID, you can taste the world.
Yes.
In downtown St. Catharines, there's so many different flavors and areas of influence by the chefs that are making the foods, and having Eh José as now a part of that really brings that authentic Mexican experience. So, do you have reservations? Explain what people can expect when they show up at Eh José.
Yeah, the first thing is welcoming. Welcome people smiling, even though we have the mask, but we try to show the smile, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's to make you feel like at home, make you feel comfortable. And when you call and you make a reservation, so you coming in your mind with getting something different, even though sometimes it's not in the menu. I can make it. I can make there, or you have any situation with your diet, it's not a problem. So I can make something and it's still in the Mexican way. So
and they, from the food to the in-dining experience, you don't have a lot of tables.
No.
So how many tables, or do people have to reserve? Do you recommend reservation for a table, or is it more just first come, first serve?
Well, we try they get a little more now with this situation, just 10 people. So I think the best way is call-us. And or go in the website. It's ejosetaqueria.ca, and we try to update every day for whatever situation, and the phone number is right there, and just call us, and we can reserve the time. People most in that area there, the idea is for us is take out, and the way take out, because most of the people is working there. It's offices.
Right.
So we try the best way is give us a call, and we can make a reservation.
That's awesome. Yeah. Signature dish. I want to talk about. So people will say, so it's just tacos. It's not. So first of all, I've had it. It's not just tacos. But when people think, okay, taqueria is that? What is your signature dishes? And explain what people can expect to sort of see in the presentation.
Well, my signature has been the guacamole and chips. And chips is made from fresh corn tortilla, and no chemicals, no nothing. So it's no salt. We try to keep a little bit in the diet. Same too.
Okay.
Yeah, and the guacamole, the presentation has to be how no a little bit on the sides, like a tomato and cilantro, because some people don't like cilantro. So always we put it on the side. They can take it off, or we can take it off before we give it to them. But I think my signature has been the guacamole, and guacamole, with the past of the years, been in different houses, showed people during a little bit of classes, cooking classes, and show the people how I make guacamole. It's no a secret, but people, they said it's not the same. It's not the same how you make, but it's different styles, no? Like we can say. Yeah.
That's amazing. So guacamole,
Yeah.
and then in terms of the different types of tacos that they can get.
Yeah, that one can be nice with when you asking for a tacos al pastor. Tacos al pastor, we don't have right now the we call it trompo, or the machine, because with the COVID we can travel to Mexico, and but we bought it already, and I think it's gonna be a new addition to Eh José Taqueria, and do a little bit of show, cutting the meat, a little bit of pineapple and the onion, and this is how is that one. I think that one's gonna be awesome. The flavor's really good. The flavor's really good.
Wow. Okay, so you're not done with the business. You got new machinery coming in that'll allow you to even create a more authentic Mexican taqueria experience.
You're right. Yes.
That is amazing. And so if people want to find Eh José, Instagram, you got a Facebook. Are you on? Do you have a website?
We do. We have the website, and the website has been nice designed for make it easier, easier in the way you can go on the website, pick what you want, and you can order and pay from there. And we have delivery system too, and you don't have to get out from home. Just go on the website josetaqueria.ca, and you can order from there. You can pay, and we can deliver.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
so, Chef José, I just want to say thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your entrepreneurialism, for opening up a business in the middle of a pandemic. I know because the signing of the lease, you and Jesse had to embark on it. It has proven to be a big success already. And as our downtown comes back to life, you gotta check out Eh José. It's another addition to the culinary destination that we call downtown St. Catharines. You will not be disappointed. I'm already hungry right now. I can't wait to get over to Eh José. Get over there, check it out, and again, congratulations, Chef José.
Thank you.
And pass on my thanks to Jesse as well.
I will. Thank you so much.
So that's it for our home with Mayor Sendzik for today. I hope you had an inspiring experience with Jess Potts and Eh José, Chef José from Eh José Restaurant. What we have here in our community is some amazing people doing awesome things. So until the next show, take care of yourself, be safe out there, and look after one another. Take care.